Picture this. I was at my lowest, bills piling up, dreams slipping through my fingers, and the weight of uncertainty crushing me every single day. Maybe you've been there too, feeling like you're stuck in a never-ending loop of disappointment, frustration, and doubt. But then one day something shifted. It wasn't a miracle. It wasn't pure luck. It was destiny, knocking at my door, whispering that change was coming, that my time was finally arriving. That moment, the moment everything changed, wasn't an accident. And if you're here watching this right now, neither is it for you. You didn't just stumble upon this video. There's a reason you're here, and it's not just random. You, like me, are meant for something more. I know, it sounds wild. Maybe you're thinking, how can this be true for me? I'm just like everyone else, struggling day after day, trying to make ends meet. But let me tell you something important. You are not just anyone. You are a chosen one. You have been handpicked, in ways you might not even understand yet, for something extraordinary. And the good news? Your luck is turning. No more waiting. No more endless disappointment. The universe, God, destiny, whatever higher power you believe in, is setting the stage for your breakthrough. It's happening right now, in this very moment. But before we dive in, let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt that surge of hope when something, just something, goes right? When that unexpected opportunity pops up? Or when a tiny spark of luck shifts the trajectory of your life? That's not chance, my friend. That's the beginning of something bigger. That's the energy of divine favor working in your life. And trust me, it's not a fluke. It's a sign that your time is coming. So if you're feeling even a small spark of excitement right now, if something in your heart is saying, yes, this is for me, then I want you to do something for me. Hit that like button. It's a small gesture, but it's a powerful one. It's your way of saying, I'm ready. Ready for change. Ready for the life you've always imagined. And I promise you're going to want to stick with me until the end, because what I'm about to share will flip everything you thought you knew about luck, about destiny, and about your future. We're about to uncover how your struggles, the ones that have weighed you down for far too long, are coming to an end. We're about to explore how the abundance you've always dreamed of is finally making its way into your life. Why? Because you were chosen for greatness. Your journey, your story, is just beginning. So what does it really mean to be chosen? How does this all connect to the luck that's turning in your favor? Let's dive into that, because I'm telling you, this is just the beginning of something incredible. Stick with me. You won't regret it. So, what does it really mean to be chosen? You might be thinking, chosen for what exactly? What makes me different from anyone else? And that's a great question. Let's break it down. Being a chosen one isn't about being perfect or having some magical ability that sets you above the rest. It's not about being better than others. It's about being called for something bigger than what you might be able to see right now. It's about having a divine purpose planted deep inside you, a seed that's been waiting to bloom. And trust me, it's about to burst wide open. This isn't some random fate or coincidence. Whether you believe in God, the universe, or the higher power that guides your life, there is a force at work that has specifically singled you out. It's like the universe sees something in you that no one else can, and it's been preparing you for something extraordinary, something that only you can do. This divine force isn't some distant idea. It's real, it's present, and it's working behind the scenes of your life, even when you don't realize it. Think about it for a second. The world is full of people, billions of us all struggling, dreaming, fighting, but only a select few ever seem to rise above the noise to achieve what others think is impossible. And why? Because they're chosen. They've tapped into something greater than themselves. And now it's your turn. It's not fate that chooses you. It's your potential. The universe has seen what you're capable of, even if you haven't fully realized it yet. You have the strength, the courage, and the wisdom already inside you. It's just waiting for you to recognize it, to step into your greatness. I want you to imagine something for a moment. Picture a lighthouse standing tall in the middle of a raging storm. The waves are crashing, the wind is howling, and the darkness is all around. But that lighthouse? It stands firm, its light cutting through the chaos, guiding ships safely to shore. That's you. You might feel like the storm is all around you, and maybe, just maybe, you've been tossed around in the waves. But inside you is a light, a purpose, and a calling that no storm can take away. You are the lighthouse in this world, chosen to shine when others are lost. This is a message for you. I want you to pause for a moment and reflect. Do you believe in the power of being chosen? Do you feel it deep down in your soul? If you do, I challenge you to take that belief and own it. Jot down what being chosen means to you. It doesn't have to be perfect, just raw and real. The act of acknowledging this truth will be the first step toward unlocking the power within you. Now that we know what it means to be chosen, let's take a deeper dive. If you're chosen for greatness, then your luck is about to turn. You're not here by accident, and you're not stuck in your struggles forever. The shift is coming, and when it does, everything will change. So let's explore what that means, because the best is yet to come. Let's talk about luck. You've heard people say it before, you're lucky, or what luck? But here's the truth, luck is often misunderstood. It's not some random stroke of chance or a roll of the dice. When you're chosen, when you've been called to something greater, what looks like luck is actually divine timing, an alignment of forces that work in your favor. Luck isn't a fluke. It's the universe, God, or whatever you believe in, moving pieces around just for you. Let me give you an example. I once knew a person who lost everything. They were stuck in a dead-end job, living paycheck to paycheck, until one day they lost that job. Everything seemed to be falling apart, and they thought it was the end. But just when they were at their lowest, something miraculous happened. A new opportunity appeared, out of nowhere. A chance encounter with someone who knew someone. A door that opened when they thought all doors were shut. That person didn't just get another job. They got their dream job, one that paid better, fulfilled their passions, and changed their life in ways they never thought possible. Was that luck? No. That was divine favor at work. It was the universe stepping in, aligning everything perfectly when the time was right. I want you to think about your own life for a second. Have you ever had a moment when something lucky happened to you? Maybe it was a small break, a fortunate coincidence, or even a moment where you narrowly escaped disaster. It felt like chance, right? But I'm telling you, it wasn't. That was the universe moving on your behalf. That was divine timing at play. The dots are starting to connect now, aren't they? Your lucky moments weren't random. They were signs. Signs that your time is coming and that luck, or rather divine favor, is starting to shift in your direction. Now I know what you might be thinking. But what if I don't feel lucky? What if I've been waiting forever for my break? I hear you. Trust me, I've been there too. But the truth is, you can't force luck, you can't chase it down, but you can prepare for it. You can get ready for when divine timing aligns, and trust that it will. Luck isn't something you wait for passively. It's something that happens when you're in the right place at the right time, doing the work, staying open, and trusting the process. Here's where it gets interesting. You're not just waiting for luck. You're about to receive some shocking news that's going to change everything. A sudden twist, a wake-up call. It's not just a random surprise. It's the push you need, the catalyst that will set everything in motion. When that moment comes, it won't just feel like luck. It will feel like the universe is finally giving you what you've been waiting for. But don't just take my word for it. I want to hear from you. Have you ever had a lucky moment that turned your life around? Maybe a time when everything seemed impossible, but then something incredible happened out of nowhere. Share it with me. Leave a 777 in the comments, because that number represents divine alignment. And I'm telling you, once you recognize these moments, you'll start to see the bigger picture. So now that we've seen what luck really is and how it's about to shift for you, let's talk about the shocking news that will ignite your transformation. Hold on tight. Because what's coming next is going to flip your world upside down, and in the best way possible. Stay with me, because this is just the beginning. Now that we've unpacked how your luck is shifting, let me tell you this. Shocking news isn't just a surprise, it's a catalyst, a wake-up call from the universe, a force that pushes you toward your true destiny. It might not always feel like it at first. In fact, sometimes it feels like the ground's been ripped from under you, like the rug's been pulled out from beneath your feet. But that's exactly when the magic happens. That's when you're thrust into something greater than you ever imagined. Think about it. Life doesn't always give us what we expect. Sometimes it gives us something entirely different, something that doesn't make sense at first, something we'd rather not face. A job loss, a breakup, a health scare, a rejection from something you worked so hard for. We all know these moments. They're the ones that feel like they're shattering everything we've built. But here's the twist. These moments are often the very thing that leads us to where we're meant to be. Take, for example, the story of a woman named Maria. She worked for years in a job that drained her. Day after day, she woke up, went through the motions, but never felt truly alive. Then, one day, out of nowhere, she was called into her boss's office and told she was being let go. It was devastating. The shock hit her hard, and at first she couldn't see past the fear and uncertainty. But it was in that very moment, when everything felt like it was falling apart, that Maria realized she was free. She no longer had to live someone else's dream. Within a few months, she started her own business, something she had always dreamed of but never thought was possible. And guess what? It turned out to be wildly successful. The shock of losing her job was the catalyst she needed to finally step into her true purpose. It's the same for so many of us. Sometimes the universe, God, or fate has to shake things up to get our attention. It's not about the shock itself, but about how we respond to it. Do we crumble in fear, or do we embrace it, knowing that it's part of a greater plan? Do we allow the surprise to knock us down, or do we rise with a new sense of clarity and purpose? Think back to a time when you experienced a shock in your own life. Maybe it was something small, maybe something bigger. But whatever it was, I bet you can trace that event to a turning point. Maybe you didn't see it right away, but looking back, it was that moment of surprise that gave you the push you needed to make a big change. The shock was the spark, the fire that lit the path ahead. Now let's get real. I have something to share with you. I have shocking news of my own, something that could change everything for you. It's coming up soon, and it's going to flip your perspective, shift your mindset, and set you on the path you were always meant to walk. But before we get to that, I want you to think about this. How will you handle the shocking news that's headed your way? Will you resist it, or will you embrace it as the sign it truly is? So reflect on your past. Think about the shocks you've faced and how they've shaped you. And as you do, remember this. The most unexpected things are often the ones that change our lives forever. It's time to prepare, because the shocking news I'm about to share with you will push you forward like nothing else. Stay with me. We're just getting started. Now I want to share some real stories with you, stories of people who faced the unimaginable, who experienced that shocking news that seemed like a setback, only to have it propel them into a completely different, much more abundant reality. These stories are proof that your transformation is coming. You just have to stay open to it, trust the process, and recognize the signs. Take Sarah, for example. Sarah was a single mother struggling to make ends meet. She worked long hours in a job that barely paid the bills, and every day felt like a battle just to keep her head above water. But one day, the unexpected happened. She was let go from her job. It was a blow that knocked the wind out of her, and for a moment she thought it was the end of her dreams. The shock hit her hard, but that very shock, the one that seemed like a disaster, was the turning point she needed. Sarah decided she wasn't going to give up. Instead of wallowing in despair, she took a risk. She started a business from scratch, something she had always dreamed of but never thought she could do. Fast forward a year, and Sarah's business became a six-figure success. She went from being a struggling single mom to a thriving entrepreneur, and it all started with that moment of shocking news. That job loss? It wasn't the end. It was the beginning of her new life. Then there's John. John had always dreamed of starting his own tech company, but he was constantly met with rejection. Investors turned him down. Potential partners laughed at his ideas. For years, he felt like he was swimming against the current. But then, one day, after another brutal rejection, he had a chance encounter with someone at a coffee shop. This person just happened to be an influential investor looking for exactly what John was working on. That unexpected meeting, that shocking turn of events, changed everything. Within months, John's dream company went from an idea to a reality, securing millions in funding. He went from struggling in the shadows to standing in the spotlight, all because he was ready for his moment, even when everything seemed like a rejection. These are just two examples, but there are thousands of stories just like this. People who faced shocking news, devastating moments, and life-changing setbacks, only to have those very events lead them to something much greater than they ever imagined. What seemed like an obstacle at first, what seemed like a crushing blow, was actually the universe's way of clearing the path for them. And I believe this can be your story too. What's the shocking news that's about to propel you forward? It might not look the way you expect. It might not come wrapped in a pretty bow, but I promise you it's coming. Your transformation is inevitable. The universe has been preparing you for this moment, just like it prepared Sarah, just like it prepared John. Now I want you to think about your own life. What's been that moment of shock for you? Maybe it hasn't happened yet, or maybe it has and you just didn't see it for what it was. But I promise you, the seeds of transformation are already planted. And when that moment comes, when the shock hits, it's going to be the spark that lights up your path. Here's the thing. You are no different from Sarah or John. If they could transform their lives, so can you. The question is, will you embrace it? Will you see that shocking news for what it truly is? A catalyst for greatness? Your story is just beginning, and I can't wait to see where it takes you. Feeling inspired? Take a moment and share this with someone you know who could use a little hope right now. Someone who needs to hear that transformation is possible, even when it seems like everything is falling apart. Together, we rise. Next up, we're going to talk about how to prepare for your moment, because once your luck turns and the shock hits, you need to be ready. Let's dive into that next. You've heard the stories. You've felt the shift in your own life, and maybe, just maybe, you're starting to believe that your moment is coming. But here's the truth. Before your transformation can happen, you need to be ready for it. Preparation isn't just about having the skills or the resources. It's about being mentally, emotionally, and spiritually aligned for what's coming your way. And the good news is, preparing for your moment isn't as hard as you think. It's about taking simple, intentional steps right now that set you up for the breakthroughs that are waiting for you. The first thing you need to do is believe. Believe that your luck is turning, that your time is coming. Doubt is a thief that will rob you of your blessings before you even have a chance to receive them. When you doubt, you block the flow of opportunities, the flow of divine favor. But when you believe, when you trust that something greater is unfolding, you open yourself up to receive it. Start with your mindset. Begin each day with the conviction that something extraordinary is about to happen. You don't need to have all the details or the full picture. You just need to trust that the pieces are falling into place. Affirmations can be powerful here. Something as simple as saying, "I am ready for my transformation," or "My luck is turning and I am prepared for greatness," can shift your energy and set the tone for the day. When you align your mindset with your vision, you set in motion the changes you need to see. But belief alone won't get you there. You've got to be emotionally ready as well. You need to clear out the baggage that's been holding you back. I'm talking about the fear, the insecurities, the old wounds, and the limiting beliefs that have convinced you you're not worthy of greatness. They've been with you for far too long, and it's time to let them go. One of the best ways to do this is through self-reflection. Take time to sit quietly, close your eyes, and connect with yourself. Ask yourself, what's holding me back? What's the one thing I'm afraid to let go of. It could be a past failure, a fear of success, or even someone else's negative opinion that you've been carrying around like a weight. Once you identify it, let it go. Write it down, say it out loud, and then release it. Free yourself from the chains that have kept you stuck. When you clear that space emotionally, you make room for the new, for the abundant life that's waiting to enter. Now, let's talk about action. Preparation isn't just about thinking and feeling. It's also about doing. What's one goal you've been putting off? What's one thing you've been meaning to start but have been too afraid or unsure to take the first step? I want you to write it down right now. That goal, that dream, that thing you've been putting off. Take it out of your head and make it real. Write it down, and then commit to taking one small step toward it today. Maybe it's reaching out to a mentor, doing some research, or just having a conversation with someone who's been where you want to go. Whatever it is, take that step. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because that moment is now. Remember, preparation isn't about having everything figured out. It's about trusting that you're ready, even if you don't have all the answers. It's about making space, mentally, emotionally, and physically, for the transformation that's already in motion. By taking these small intentional steps, you're setting yourself up for success when that shocking news comes, when your luck turns, and when the universe gives you the green light to move forward. If you're feeling a spark right now, that's your sign. You're already on the right path, but don't stop here. I challenge you to take that goal you wrote down and make it happen. Do something, anything, today that brings you closer to it. And remember, the more you prepare, the more you align with your destiny. So what's the next step? It's not just about getting ready. It's about aligning with something bigger than yourself. Next, we'll talk about how to sync up with the divine, how to tap into the flow that's been waiting for you all along. But for now, start with preparation. Believe, clear the emotional clutter, and take that first step. This is your moment. Let's get ready for what's next. Now that you've prepared yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically for the transformation that's coming, it's time to take it a step further, because preparation alone won't get you to your highest potential. Alignment with a higher purpose is what truly accelerates your journey. It's about connecting with the divine, with the universal flow that guides us all, and trusting that it's leading you exactly where you need to go. Alignment isn't about control. It's about surrender. It's about letting go of your desire to force things to happen on your own terms and instead, trusting that there's a bigger plan at play. You may not have all the answers yet, and that's okay. What matters is that you start tuning into that quiet, powerful voice within you, the one that whispers the next step when the world feels chaotic. It's the stillness that guides you even when everything around you seems to be in motion. The first step to alignment is faith. Whether you call it God, the universe, or something else, there's a force far greater than us, and it's constantly working on our behalf. It's easy to feel like we're navigating life alone, especially when things get tough. But the truth is, we're never alone. That greater force is always there, guiding us, protecting us, and directing us toward our highest good. How do you align with this divine flow? It starts with presence. Take time every day to center yourself in quiet reflection. Whether it's through prayer, meditation, or simply taking a few moments of stillness, this is where your connection to the divine grows. In these moments, allow yourself to feel the peace that comes from trusting something greater than yourself. Ask for guidance, ask for clarity, and then listen. Sometimes the answers don't come in the form of a loud, booming voice. Sometimes it's a feeling, a thought, or a sign that shows up unexpectedly. The more you listen, the clearer the path becomes. I'll tell you something personal. When I first started aligning my life with a higher purpose, it wasn't easy. I was caught in the noise of everyday life, constantly moving and chasing after what I thought I wanted. But when I started to slow down, when I gave myself permission to be still and ask for guidance, everything shifted. At first, it was just a small whisper, a sense of peace. Then, the signs started to appear. People came into my life at the perfect moment. Opportunities opened up when I least expected them, and doors began to swing wide open. But none of this would have been possible if I hadn't taken the time to align with something greater than myself. Alignment doesn't just bring clarity, it brings ease. When you're in sync with divine will, things start to flow naturally. It's like you're no longer swimming upstream, struggling against the current. Instead, you're moving with it, effortlessly. The work doesn't feel like work anymore, because you're doing what you were meant to do. And that's when the magic happens. The doors open, the opportunities arrive, and your transformation takes shape in ways you never imagined. Here's the best part. You don't have to be perfect at this. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. The point is to start. Start aligning with divine will even in the smallest of ways. Spend 5 minutes in quiet reflection every day. Ask for guidance. Trust the process. And little by little, you'll begin to feel the flow of your purpose moving through you. When you're aligned with divine will, you don't need to force things. You don't have to fight for what's meant for you. It will come naturally, effortlessly. That's the power of alignment. And if you're feeling a shift already, if you're sensing that this is the right path for you, then I encourage you to dive even deeper into this process. Aligning with divine will is a practice, a journey that unfolds over time. But every step you take in this direction brings you closer to the life you were meant to live. But here's the thing. Even when we align with the divine, doubts will still creep in. Fear will still arise. It's part of the process. And in the next part, we'll talk about how to overcome those doubts and fears because they're one of the biggest obstacles standing between you and your destiny. So, let's address those head on. Keep going. Your destiny is waiting. Now that you've started to align with divine will, trust in the process, and prepare for the changes that are about to unfold, there's one last hurdle to overcome: doubt and fear. You've probably heard the phrase, the only thing standing between you and your dreams is fear. And while it sounds simple, it's one of the toughest battles to face. Fear can paralyze you, keep you stuck in your old ways, and stop you from taking the very steps that will lead you to your destiny. But here's the thing. Fear doesn't have to control you. Fear is a signal, not a sentence. It's a sign that you're about to step into unknown territory. You're about to grow, to evolve, and that's why fear shows up. It's not because you're not capable, it's because you're on the verge of something new. Fear only shows up when you're close to your breakthrough, when your comfort zone is about to be shattered and you're about to level up. Let's break it down. First, there's the fear of failure. Maybe you've tried before and it didn't work out. Maybe you faced rejection or things didn't go the way you planned. It's natural to be afraid of failing again. But here's the truth. Failure isn't the end. It's part of the process. Every successful person has failed at some point. They've stumbled, they've fallen, and they've gotten back up. Failure doesn't define you. It refines you. It teaches you the lessons you need to grow, and it brings you closer to success. And then there's the fear of success. Yes, I'm talking about the fear of actually achieving your dreams. You might be thinking, what if I succeed, but then I'm not ready for it? What if I can't handle the pressure, the expectations, the changes that come with success? These fears are real, and they're just as powerful as the fear of failure. But here's the thing. You are more than capable. The very fact that you're here, reading this, means you've already shown the resilience, the heart, and the strength to rise. If success is the next step in your journey, then you're more than prepared to handle it. So, how do you overcome these doubts and fears? The first step is to name them. Whatever fear you're facing, whether it's the fear of failure or success, call it out. Write it down. Speak it out loud. There's power in naming your fears because when you give them a name, they lose their power over you. Fear thrives in silence and secrecy. When you shine a light on it, it shrinks. Once you've named your fear, confront it head on. Ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? What's the worst case scenario? When you really break it down, most of our fears are based on worst case scenarios that are highly unlikely to happen. The reality is often far less scary than our imagination makes it out to be. But here's the real key: faith. Faith is the antidote to fear. When you believe that you're chosen, when you trust that the universe is guiding you towards something amazing, fear can't hold you back. Faith isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward in spite of it. It's choosing to take action, even when you're not sure what the outcome will be. It's trusting that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay, because you're on the right path. In my own life, I've faced moments where fear was screaming in my ear, telling me I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't ready, that I would fail. But I decided to take action anyway. And each time when I moved through the fear, I found that the thing I was most afraid of wasn't nearly as bad as I imagined. In fact, it was often the key to my breakthrough. So, what's your fear? Name it, face it, and then take a step forward. Fear doesn't stand a chance against faith and action. When you push through the fear, you make space for your growth, your success, and the abundance that's waiting for you. You are chosen for this. You are ready for this. And the doubts? They're just the final test before your breakthrough. On the other side of fear lies the life you've been dreaming of. So take that step. You've got this. But overcoming fear is just one part of the equation. There's something even more powerful that can propel you forward: community. In the next part, we'll talk about the strength of surrounding yourself with the right people. Because when you're not alone in this journey, nothing can stop you. So let's dive into the power of community. Let me ask you something. How often have you tried to go it alone, thinking you could handle everything by yourself? Maybe you've told yourself, "I've got this, I don't need anyone." It's a natural impulse. We all want to prove we can stand on our own, conquer challenges, and rise to the top without help. But here's the truth. No one rises alone. This journey you're on, the one toward transformation, abundance, and destiny, is not one you're meant to walk by yourself. Community is the secret sauce, the invisible thread that ties us all together. And here's why. Community provides support, encouragement, and the kind of energy that fuels your fire when you're running low. When you're surrounded by the right people, they lift you up, remind you of your worth, and cheer you on when you can't find the strength to keep going. Think about it. Who do you turn to when things get tough? Who do you call when you need advice or encouragement? These people, your circle, are your tribe. They may not all be physically present with you, but their energy, love, and support are invaluable. And when you surround yourself with people who are aligned with your dreams, who believe in your vision, they help you manifest what you desire. The energy you put into your community gets reflected right back into your life, and it amplifies everything you're working toward. I remember a time when I was struggling to find my path. It felt like every step I took was uncertain, and I questioned if I was on the right track. But then I found my tribe, people who shared similar struggles, people who had been where I was and had overcome. Their belief in me gave me the courage to believe in myself. Their wisdom guided me when I was lost, and their love and encouragement kept me going when I wanted to quit. That was the turning point. Suddenly, I wasn't doing it alone anymore. I had a team, a support system, and that made all the difference. The beauty of community is that it provides a sense of belonging. We all want to feel seen, heard, and understood. When you're in the right circle, you don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to justify your dreams. They just get it. And that sense of understanding creates an unspoken bond that can't be broken. But how do you find the right community? It's about aligning yourself with people who are on the same frequency as you. Seek out those who are doing the things you want to do, who are living in alignment with their own divine purpose. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Whether it's through online groups, mentorships, or local meetups, find those who will challenge you to be your best, hold you accountable, and remind you of your greatness when you forget. Sometimes, community isn't just about support, it's about collaboration. The right people don't just cheer you on. They also push you forward, open doors you didn't know existed, and introduce you to new opportunities. Together, you can grow, expand, and achieve things you never could on your own. They become your partners in success, and their victories become yours too. When you're part of a community, you're no longer isolated in your struggles. You have people who are there to lift you up when you fall, celebrate with you when you succeed, and help you grow into the person you're meant to become. And guess what? They need you just as much as you need them. The energy of community is reciprocal. It's not just about what you get, but what you give as well. When you contribute, you strengthen the entire circle, and that creates an environment where everyone thrives. So where's your tribe? Who are the people who will walk this journey with you? If you haven't found them yet, start looking. Reach out. Take the first step. When you find your people, the whole world opens up. You'll be unstoppable because you're not doing it alone anymore. I want you to take a moment right now and think about your support system. Do you have the right people around you? If not, start looking for them. Build your community. Share your dreams with them, and watch how everything changes. You'll see the difference in your life, how the energy shifts, how opportunities open up, and how much easier the journey becomes when you're not walking it alone. If you found your tribe already, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment saying, "Got my crew" below. Let's celebrate the power of community together. But community is just one part of the equation. As you walk this path, it's essential to reflect on your journey, because self-awareness is the key to growth. In the next part, we'll dive into personal reflection and why taking time to look inward is crucial to your success. So, let's continue this journey of transformation. Let's take a moment to pause. Stop for just a second. Breathe. This journey you're on is not just about the destination, it's about who you become along the way. Transformation is never a linear path. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is to reflect on where you are right now. Ask yourself, where is my luck stuck? Where is my luck? What's been holding me back? What's the thing I've been afraid to face, the obstacle I've been avoiding? And most importantly, what do I truly want to shift in my life? These are the questions that can help you realign with your purpose and focus on what truly matters. Without reflection, it's easy to get caught in the hustle, to keep moving without ever taking a step back to see how far you've come. I'll be honest, I used to run away from reflection. I was so focused on what was next, so obsessed with getting to the next step, that I rarely took time to stop and check in with myself. And do you know what happened? I kept running in circles. I kept making the same mistakes, facing the same struggles because I hadn't taken the time to reflect on why things weren't working. But then, I started a simple practice. I took time to reflect every single day. I asked myself, where am I now? And what do I need to let go of to move forward? And over time, I realized just how much of my own resistance had been holding me back. It wasn't the world or other people, it was me, my mindset, my fears, my limiting beliefs. Once I faced those head-on, everything began to shift. Now, reflection isn't just about looking at what's wrong. It's about celebrating what's right. It's about recognizing the small victories that often get overlooked, the moments of growth that seem insignificant at the time, but are actually the seeds of your transformation. What have you overcome already? Think about the obstacles you've faced, the times when you thought you wouldn't make it, but somehow you did. Write them down, acknowledge them, celebrate them. You've come a long way, and that's something worth recognizing. But don't stop there. Go deeper. Ask yourself, what's the one thing I've been avoiding? Is it fear? Is it an old belief that no longer serves you? Is it a goal you've been putting off because you're unsure of the outcome? Write it down, face it, and make a commitment to yourself that you'll take action on it, no matter how small. Every little step you take toward confronting your fears and shifting your mindset will compound, bringing you closer to your true potential. You see, reflection is like planting seeds in your mind. The more you reflect with intention, the more clarity you'll gain. The clearer your mind becomes, the easier it is to make the right decisions, to take inspired action, and to align with the divine timing that's already in motion for you. You can't move forward if you're stuck in the same patterns, but reflection opens up new paths. It clears away the fog and allows you to see where to go next. It's time to reflect on what you really want, not just what your family or friends expect from you, but what you truly desire. What does abundance mean to you? What does your dream life look like? Visualize it. Close your eyes and see it in your mind's eye. Let that vision be your guiding star. Every step you take, every decision you make, should be aligned with that vision. And when you reflect regularly, that vision becomes clearer. You begin to see the steps you need to take to turn that dream into reality. So what are you waiting for? Take some time tonight, right now even, to sit down with a journal or simply reflect in your mind. Write down the answers to the questions I posed earlier. Reflect on where you are, where you want to go, and what's been holding you back. Be honest with yourself. Don't hold anything back. The more you get real with yourself, the more you open the door to your transformation. Here's a powerful exercise. Write down one goal you've been delaying. It could be something big, something small. The point is, it's a goal that's been hanging over you, waiting to be tackled. That's your first step. Once you've written it down, commit to taking one action toward it today. It doesn't have to be a big leap, just one step. As soon as you do that, you'll feel the weight of procrastination lift off your shoulders. And once that first step is taken, the next ones will follow. Reflection isn't just about what's gone wrong. It's about seeing what's right and appreciating the growth you've made. It's about shifting your mindset, taking ownership of your story, and preparing yourself for the shocking news that's coming your way. The path ahead is paved with clarity, and as you reflect on where you are, you'll find that the answers you seek are already inside you. If you're ready, share one reflection in the comments below. What's the one thing you've realized during this process? Let's grow together. We're all in this journey of transformation, and sharing our reflections helps us all get one step closer to the lives we're meant to live. In the next part, we'll dive into gratitude and how it attracts the abundance you've been waiting for. Because when you reflect with gratitude, everything changes. So let's keep going. Your destiny is waiting. Let's talk about something that might seem small at first, but is actually one of the most powerful tools in your life. Gratitude. I know it sounds simple. You've heard it before, right? Gratitude attracts abundance. But let me ask you, how often do you truly practice gratitude? Not just the thank you say when someone holds the door open, but deep, soul-level gratitude for the blessings in your life, big and small. Here's the thing. Gratitude isn't just about being polite or acknowledging the good things, it's a magnet. Yes, you heard that right. A magnet. Gratitude has this incredible ability to pull blessings toward you. The more you practice it, the more you start to attract everything you need, whether it's opportunities, people, or even shifts in your mindset. It's the secret sauce that makes everything you want come closer and faster. It's like this. Imagine you're standing in the middle of a field, and there's a strong wind blowing. What happens when you hold out a magnet? The metal objects, opportunities, luck, peace, wealth, success are drawn to you. The more gratitude you express, the stronger that magnetic pull becomes. Suddenly, what once seemed out of reach starts making its way to you. I'll give you a real-world example. A while back, I was facing some financial struggles. No matter how hard I worked, I couldn't seem to break through. I felt stuck, overwhelmed, and honestly a little hopeless. But then I decided to try something different. I committed to practicing gratitude every single day, no matter how small the wins were. I started by thanking God for the things I already had: the roof over my head, the people in my life, even the simple things like a warm cup of coffee in the morning. It was an exercise in shifting my focus. Instead of obsessing over what I didn't have, I chose to focus on what I did have. And that's when things began to shift. Slowly at first, but steadily. I started noticing opportunities I had missed before. I began attracting people who were supportive, helpful, and who genuinely wanted to see me succeed. It was as if the universe had opened up, and all because I focused on gratitude. Here's something that really hit home for me. Studies show that people who practice gratitude regularly are healthier, more successful, and experience more positive emotions. But here's my personal take on it. Gratitude is divine math. When you focus on the abundance you already have, The universe multiplies it and sends even more your way. It's like planting seeds. If you water them, they grow. The more you show gratitude, the more the universe responds with even greater blessings. Now, this doesn't mean everything will magically fall into your lap. Gratitude is about mindset. It's about seeing the world through a lens of abundance rather than lack. And when you start to do that, you stop looking for things to go wrong and instead look for things to go right. You begin to see the opportunities, the miracles, and the hidden blessings that were always there, just waiting to be noticed. So how do you start? Here's a simple practice. Every single day, take a moment to list 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be huge things. Maybe it's a kind gesture from a friend, a moment of peace in a busy day, or even the ability to walk outside and breathe fresh air. The key is consistency. Gratitude, like anything else, gets stronger the more you practice it. You'll start to notice that even on the tough days, you're able to find something to be thankful for. And when you do that, the world starts to shift around you. I want you to try it for the next week, every day, no matter what. Take a moment to write down or speak out loud 3 things you're grateful for. It could be anything. Start with the basics, and as you go deeper, you'll see how your mindset begins to change. The more you practice this, the more you'll attract what you need. Watch as the things you've been wishing for start falling into place, just because you've opened yourself up to receiving. And here's where the real magic happens. Gratitude is contagious. When you feel it in your heart, it radiates outward. It affects the people around you. The more grateful you are, the more others will feel that energy and reflect it back to you. And suddenly, you're not just attracting blessings, you're spreading them to those around you. Your gratitude becomes a ripple, touching lives and creating a cycle of positivity and abundance. So, right now, take a moment to reflect. What are you grateful for today? Share it in the comments below. Express it, feel it, and let it draw more goodness into your life. You may be amazed at just how quickly things begin to change, but gratitude isn't the only thing that attracts abundance. In the next part, we'll talk about how to take inspired action. Because gratitude, paired with real effort, is the ultimate recipe for success. Are you ready to take action on the blessings coming your way? Let's dive into that next. Now that we've talked about the power of gratitude, there's one more crucial piece to the puzzle: action. You can be as grateful as you want, but without taking inspired action, those blessings will remain potential, not reality. And here's the thing. Inspired action isn't about pushing, hustling, or forcing things to happen. It's about flowing with what's in alignment with your purpose, your vision, and your soul's calling. Let's be clear. Faith moves mountains, but you've got to climb them too. You can pray for your dreams to manifest, visualize your success, and express all the gratitude you want. But unless you start taking steps toward your goals, nothing will change. Faith without works is dead. It's not enough to sit back and wait for the universe to hand you everything on a silver platter. You've got to be willing to move, to act, when the opportunity presents itself. The universe isn't going to do it for you. You have to meet it halfway. I'll be the first to admit this is something I had to learn the hard way. I used to believe that if I just thought positively enough, everything would come to me. I'd wait for signs, feel good about my dreams, and then wait some more. But one day I had an epiphany. Waiting wasn't going to get me anywhere. Action was the missing piece. Here's a powerful truth. When you act, even if it's just one small step, you create momentum. And momentum is what transforms dreams into reality. Imagine a car. It's easy to steer when it's already moving, but if it's parked in the driveway, it's going nowhere. It doesn't matter how good the engine is or how smooth the road. Looks ahead until the car starts moving, you're not going anywhere. That's what action does, it gets you moving. When I decided to take that first step, no matter how small, I felt the shift. It was like my entire energy changed. I didn't have it all figured out. Heck, I didn't even know exactly where I was going, but I trusted that taking action was going to show me the way. And you know what happened? The opportunities that once seemed out of reach started showing up. People, ideas, events. They began aligning with me. It was like the universe had been waiting for me to take that first step so it could meet me halfway. Here's an exercise for you. Think of one goal you've been putting off. It doesn't matter how big or small it is, just choose one thing you've been wanting to do but haven't taken action on yet. Now here's the key. Do one thing today that moves you closer to that goal. It could be sending an email, making a phone call, researching something online, or setting a time to work on it. That's it. Don't worry about doing everything in one day. Just take one step. Here's why this works. When you take that first step, you break the inertia. You send a message to the universe and yourself that you're serious about your dreams. Action creates energy. It shifts your mindset. From I'm waiting for something to happen to I'm making it happen. And when you're aligned with that energy, you'll be amazed at how things fall into place. Remember, taking inspired action doesn't always mean taking huge leaps. In fact, often it's the small, consistent actions that add up to something big. Want to write a book? Don't wait until you have an entire manuscript. Write one paragraph today. Want to start a business? Don't wait until you have everything figured out. Make one phone call. Create a website. Take one step. These small steps add up, and soon you'll find yourself looking back and realizing that your dreams have turned into reality. So right now, make a commitment to take inspired action. No more waiting. No more hesitation. You've got a goal and you're going to take one step toward it today. If you feel called to, share what your action step will be in the comments below. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. In the next part, we're going to dive into more stories of triumph and transformation to show you just how powerful this principle is. You'll see how others have taken inspired action and how it led them to their breakthroughs. Get ready, because the next part will inspire you even more. You're on the path to greatness, and action is the key that unlocks your destiny. Let's keep moving forward. It's one thing to hear about taking action and believing in your potential, but sometimes you need to hear the stories of others who've walked the path before you. Their journeys will show you that you're not alone, and more importantly, that your dreams are not impossible. Every triumph, no matter how big or small, began with a single decision, a choice to take action, to keep going, even when things seemed uncertain. And today I want to share a few stories that will remind you of the immense power you hold within you to rise, to overcome, and to transform your life. Let me introduce you to Sarah. Sarah was a single mom, struggling to make ends meet. She worked long hours at a job that barely covered her bills, and no matter how hard she tried, the dream of something more always felt just out of reach. Then, one day everything changed. Sarah lost her job. At first it felt like the end of the world. She was devastated. But in that moment of despair, she had a realization. Maybe this is my opportunity to finally do something for myself. Rather than sinking into hopelessness, Sarah decided to take action. She'd always had a passion for handmade jewelry, but never had the time or resources to fully pursue it. With nothing to lose, she invested in a small craft kit, started making jewelry during her free time, and began posting pictures of her creations online. It wasn't immediate, but slowly people started noticing. Her small hobby grew into a full-fledged business. In less than a year, Sarah went from being unemployed and struggling to becoming a successful entrepreneur, making more money than she ever had before. What happened here wasn't magic. It was Sarah's choice to take action in the face of uncertainty. She didn't wait for the perfect moment. She didn't wait for things to get easier. She just took one step. And that step led her to a completely transformed life. And then there's John. John had always dreamed of working in film. But every time he applied for a job in the industry, he was rejected. Friends and family told him to get a real job and stop chasing something that felt so out of reach. But John refused to give up on his dream. One day, he met someone by chance at a coffee shop, an aspiring director looking for a team to help on his first project. John took that chance. He worked tirelessly, learning everything he could about the film industry, offering his help in any way possible, even if it meant working for free at first. Fast forward a couple of years, and John Went from being a struggling hopeful to working with top-tier filmmakers. That random meeting led to the breakthrough deal that changed his career forever. And today, John is living his dream, creating films that inspire thousands of people around the world. His story isn't about waiting for the stars to align or hoping for a lucky break. It's about showing up, taking action, and trusting that when you make an effort, the universe starts to respond in kind. These stories, like countless others, show us a critical truth. The shocks, the struggles, the rejections, they were just part of the process. Sarah's job loss? It was a setup for her success. John's countless rejections? They were simply lessons that made him stronger and more determined. Neither of them was chosen because they were special or different. They were chosen because they were willing to take action when others might have given up. You may be thinking, but that's them, not me. And I get it. We all have moments of doubt. But your story is still being written. The setback you're facing right now, it could be the thing that propels you forward. The opportunity you've been waiting for, it might be just around the corner, waiting for you to take that first step. What if your triumph is just a few steps away? What if the action you take today could set in motion everything you've ever wanted? I believe your victory is coming, just like Sarah's and John's. Your shock, your moment of uncertainty is the catalyst for your transformation. You are on the path to greatness. Don't underestimate the power of small steps. Don't underestimate the impact of action, no matter how insignificant it might seem at first. Your dream life is waiting on the other side of the choices you make today. So, what about you? What small action are you going to take today that will bring you closer to your dream? Share your thoughts in the comments below. It's time to own your power and take action. In the next part, we'll talk about the preparation needed for the moment that will change everything. It's about making sure you're ready for what's coming, because when your moment comes, you want to be prepared. Let's get ready for it. We've covered a lot in this journey so far, haven't we? From realizing you're chosen, to understanding the power of taking inspired action, to hearing real-life stories of transformation, it's been one incredible ride. But I know what you're really waiting for. The moment that will flip everything for you. And trust me, it's coming. So let's take a breath, look back at everything we've learned so far and get ready for what's next. You're closer than you think. Let's recap. First, you discovered that you are the chosen one, someone with a divine purpose, destined for something extraordinary. You began to realize that your luck isn't random, it's a force of divine favor, orchestrating the perfect timing for your breakthrough. Then we talked about how shocking news, those unexpected turns, are actually wake-up calls, a push towards your destiny. But here's where it gets even more exciting. That shock, the thing that seemed like a setback or a twist of fate, could be the exact thing that catapults you into the next phase of your life. Sarah's job loss? It wasn't the end. It was the beginning of her success. John's rejections? They set the stage for his breakthrough. What we've learned is that every challenge, every struggle, every shock is part of a divine plan designed to bring you closer to your purpose. So let me ask you, where are you right now? Are you starting to believe that your moment is just around the corner? That this could be your time? This is where we hit the climax of our story. This is where things get really real. You've been given the tools, the wisdom, and the understanding that your moment is coming. But here's the key. You need to be prepared for it. The universe doesn't hand you success on a silver platter. It gives you the opportunity to rise, to take action, to make the most of the path you're on. And when that opportunity presents itself, you want to be ready. I can feel it now. Can you? You're starting to see the bigger picture. You're starting to realize that you've been through the storms for a reason, to prepare you for what's next. Maybe you've felt the weight of doubt or fear, or maybe you've been waiting for things to align perfectly. But now, more than ever, it's clear. Your success is just on the other side of you stepping into your power, taking action, and aligning yourself with the divine will of your purpose. The shocking news that we've been talking about? It's coming soon, and when it does, you'll want to be ready for it. That's why preparation is so crucial. Getting mentally, emotionally, and spiritually aligned with what's coming is your next step. So here's the question. Are you ready to embrace your destiny? Are you ready to take the actions that will push you forward, no matter what challenges lie ahead? The final piece of this puzzle, the shocking news that will change everything, is almost here. But before we get there, you've got to know this. Your preparation now will determine how you rise when your moment arrives. So take a moment, reflect, think about everything we've covered so far. How has your mindset shifted? What action are you going to take today to prepare for your breakthrough? The universe is waiting for you to step up and claim your destiny. Don't hesitate. Don't second guess. Your time is now. In the next part, we'll dive deeper into the specifics of preparing for the big moment. Because when that moment hits, you'll want to be ready, not just mentally, but spiritually and emotionally too. Trust me, the best is yet to come. Stay tuned, because we're almost there. The climax is approaching. Here it is, the moment you've been waiting for, the climactic revelation that will change everything for you. You've taken the journey with me from realizing you're the chosen one, to transforming your luck, to taking action and preparing for your big moment. All the pieces have come together, and now it's time to embrace your destiny. Let me ask you one final question. Are you ready to claim the abundance that is rightfully yours? Because what's about to happen is not just a coincidence, it's your divine right. The shocking news you've been waiting for, the breakthrough you've been longing for, it's happening now. Abundance, success, fulfillment, they are all within your reach. All you have to do is step into your power, take the leap, and claim them. You've already heard the stories. Sarah, who turned her job loss into a business empire. John, who refused to give up on his dream and found success when he least expected it. These stories aren't just inspirational. They are proof that your destiny is waiting for you. You've got the same potential, the same divine favor, and the same ability to transform your life. The only difference is, will you step into it? The shocking news is this: you are no longer stuck. The universe is aligning in your favor. The abundance you've been waiting for, it's already on its way to you. You just have to believe it. And if you believe it, you will see it. You will start to notice opportunities you never saw before. You'll start to meet the people who can help you get where you want to go. You'll start to feel the doors of possibility opening in front of you. This is your time. Your destiny is waiting, and it's ready for you to walk into it. No more waiting, no more hesitating. The struggle you've been going through, it was preparing you for this moment. You've been chosen, and your moment is now. Now take a moment and visualize it. Picture the life you've always dreamed of, the financial freedom, the peace of mind, the sense of purpose. What does it look like? What does it feel like? That's your future, and it's waiting for you to step into it. So I ask you again, are you ready? Are you ready to embrace your destiny and step into the abundant life that has been waiting for you all along? If you're ready, I want you to take action. Write it down, say it out loud. Tell the universe, I am chosen. I am ready for my abundance. My time is now. And if you're really feeling it, comment below with I am chosen or 777 to affirm your commitment to your destiny. You're not just watching this, you're living it. You've been awakened. And now, you have the power to create the life you've always wanted. I'm so proud of you for taking this journey with me. Trust that everything is falling into place. Your destiny is on its way, and it's going to be greater than anything you've ever imagined. This is just the beginning. Your time is now. Rise, chosen one. Your world is about to change.